Hello friends, I welcome you all to Nandip Academy for UPSC and MPSC. In this online session, we are going to analyze the Hindu paper, the editorial of the Hindu paper dated 26th December 2020. Let's begin with the first article. The first article is titled Recharging DTH. So we will begin with the vocabulary that is found in the article. The first word we would see is buffeted. There is a spelling error here, so it would be Buffeted. So the C is not there. What is buffeted? It's a verb which means to strike repeatedly, something that happens again and again when the strike is again and again. The next word is back burner. Backburner, which is a noun. It means issue that has been kept aside for a long, but now it needs attention. It's a noun. Anomalous, pronounced as anomalous. It is a adjective. It means deviating from what is standard, normal, set. That is anomalous. The next word is a verb which is vault, pronounced as vault, and it means unwilling. So these are the important words today. Let's move on to the first slide. So what is this article about? What are we talking about when we are saying recharging DTH? As all of you are aware that today with advancement in technology, there are a lot of over the platforms, over the technology platforms that are having with which the DTHs are having a stiff competition, and because of so they are all service providers, and because of which the DTH, which is the original platform that used to provide many channels on television, that is facing a setback. So this article has been written in that context. What needs to be done so that DTH is also on the same level playing field along with the other internet broadcasters. So let's see the introduction. The Union Cabinet has given a decision to revise the DTH norms, the DTH television distribution sector. Along with this, it has also invited for an 100% foreign direct investment in the sector. The next slide says there are new norms. So what are the new norms? License period has increased. So the license period will be 20 years. Initially it was 10 years and now it has increased from 10 years to 20 years. And the license fee that was required has been reduced to 8% of the adjusted gross revenue from the 10% which is at the existing time. So the license period is increased, the license fee has decreased, which will be beneficial and profitable for the DTH providers. The TRAI has recommended a reduction in the license fee 6 years back. Along with the TRAI, a reduction in the license fee is a relief to the DTH players, although the Indian Broadcasting Federation would like to see a further reduction in this fee. The Indian Broadcasting Federation wants to remove cross media ownership restrictions. So, what does cross media ownership restriction means? It is a situation. Media cross ownership is a situation in which a single corporate entity owns multiple types of media companies. The types of media companies owned may include print, radio, television, movie, and the internet media sites. So at present, there is a restriction on this, and the Indian Broadcasting Federation wants a removal of these restrictions. So that is cross media ownership restrictions. Now, there is a challenge that the DTH service providers are facing. And what is the challenge? They're facing stiff competition from high bandwidth internet and new generation internet providers who are using over the top channels that are reducing their urban viewer base. Now, all of you are aware with the pandemic, with the coronavirus setting in, a large number of viewers have resorted to have are using the Netflix platforms. So this is an example where channels were not allowed to broadcast because of the corona pandemic, and those who sitting at home were already viewing Netflix. So that is the competition. Many broadcasters have a live internet presence, newer screen settings that actually mobiles to large screen televisions. Some existing players have combined technologies incorporating DTH internet service and over-the-top channels. So that is about the DTH service providers. Now there is a debate there is a tussle between the DTH providers and the internet broadcasters. So, what is the tussle about? The DTH operators say after the TRAI introduced new tariff order, that is the NTO, for television last year, they have become mere carriers of channels and bouquets without having a power for the pricing. The broadcasters have approached the court against the amended. On the other hand, the broadcasters have approached the court against the amended new tariff order in Jan because of increase in channels for a mandated network capacity fee paid to DTH, reduction in the minimum price of the pay channels in bouquets, and curbed price rigging. So that is what the broadcasters are viewing against the DTH providers. And this is measured, both this shouldn't be a loss to the common man. So we can conclude by saying that India is one of the biggest single market for audiences with 200 million cable and satellite households. We also need to remember that, like any business, here also the consumer is the king. The consumer will decide which is providing them better programming content and at an affordable rate. The consumer will shift to that base. Regulation favoring consumers is necessary. Recent episode of faked audience numbers of channels need scrutiny, and this has to a detailed scrutiny into this is needed. Doordarshan and other DTH operators need to provide authentic programming and entertainment to the audience. In order to win viewers' favor, combination of best technology and pricing is required so as to keeping the common man in mind. This these two things have to go hand in hand so as to increase the viewership base. That's for the first article. Let's move on to the second article. The second article is titled Limits to Sovereignty. It is an article that focuses on Brexit. Now, as you all are aware, that 1st January was the time when it was an exit for Britain, and therefore we termed it as Brexit. And now is the time when Britain has and the EU have signed the tariff-free trade, which is just a few days before the transition period comes to an end. So while they have signed this, there have been certain limits that have been set on the sovereignty, and we need to see that, we need to understand that. Let's start with the vocabulary. So the first word is averted. It has been misspelled here, but it is Averted, which means it's a verb which means prevented, which means turn away. The second is catastrophic. It is Castrophic, which is an adjective which means sudden or great damage. The third is contentious, which is Contentious, which is an adjective which means argument. The last word is rancor, which is a noun which means resentfulness or which means bitterness. So let's move on to the first slide, which is about the introduction. Now, on 24th of December, the United Kingdom and the European Union have signed the Tariff-Free Trade Accord. This is better than the 2016 Britain decision of leaving one of the largest trading blocs. It is an 11th hour agreement that has turned away a major damage, ending with a no deal, and this would be a loss situation for Britain. And these statistics have been reported by the UK Office for Budget Responsibility. Now, what are the statistics that are quoted by the UK Office for Budget Responsibility is that first, the loss has been reduced from 6% to 4% of the GDP over the next 15 years compared to remaining out of the European Union without no deal. At the same time, Britain relies on European Union for 75% of food product imports. This tariff-free trade is important in the context of consumers and retail economy. And at the same time, the biggest trade-off is the restrictions on the right to free movement and work for ordinary citizens. So this is going to be important from the point of view of Britain. Now, what happened in the deal and what are the talks? So there are certain issues over which there has been argument, there are certain challenges, and there are certain stumbling blocks. Let's see all of them. The tariff-free access to EU single market is given to Britain in exchange of guarantee that Britain will not undercut EU competition rules and environmental regulations. So the tariff-free trade accord has come as a result of these two things which are being guaranteed by Britain. That is competition. It will not undercut any EU competition rules. At the same time, it will not disobey or not derail environmental regulations. The contentious issue, or the issue over which there has been an argument, is that the talk was has apprehensions about the threat of Singapore on Thames model that the UK might pursue outside the European Union. So this is a danger that is being expected for Britain to follow. What is the stumbling block? The stumbling block, or what is the obstacle, is the fisheries access. Now, this has been a major um, block between the European Union and the UK. Now, 5.5 year access has been given to EU fisheries to the British seas, which is rich in different varieties of fishes. This guarantees access for the affected EU states, and this in turn will help British fisheries too. The challenge would be to keep the border checks and red tape to minimum and ensure supply chains are not disrupted. Now, this would be the biggest challenge. At the same time, we need to remember that there is the bone of contentions is regarding the financial markets between UK and EU. Is EU market in services out of purview, and Britain's financial services will have to negotiate with European counterparts regarding this matter. We can conclude that post-Brexit partnership will end the polarized British society. Prime Minister Boris Johnson has taken credit for restoring sovereignty back to its country. At the same time, this tariff-free trade accord will get approved in the parliament easily because his Conservative Party has a majority in the parliament. At the same time, the opposition Labour Party has also backed the agreement, so it will smooth slates very easily through the parliament. The deal will enter into force on 1st of January after European Parliament also gives its nod, so there is still time for this trade-free accord, tariff-free trade accord to pass through the European Parliament. It is definitely a triumph, a victory for the conservative hardliners. But the challenge is uh, the protection of sovereignty of Britain versus the 27 countries of the European Union. So protecting the sovereignty against those 27 nations is going to be the biggest challenge for UK. So that is it about the 26th December editorial analysis. See you in the next session with a new editorial analysis. Thank you.